Hi, this is Nikki. This is the first video I've made in a long time. I've been in a bit of a crafting lull, shall I say. But I went on holiday earlier this year, and before I went I made myself this little travel journal. It's made out of a Cavallini file folder, just one side, which is folded in half with one signature in the middle. I was going to Florida, and so I just sort of decorated it quite flat, although this is a wooden piece. It's from Prima, and some K&Co stickers, and then I've Mod Podged it just because I'm going to carry it around with me while I was travelling. Inside I made a pocket at the front here. This is an oversized playing card. It's actually a Disneyland Paris one, but you know, it's still Mickey and his friends there. And I've put a list of where we went, and I collected some maps, ticket off my luggage, card for when you have your photos taken in the theme parks, and just a card I've picked up on my journeys. This was some piece of writing paper that had a map design on, which I've used. This was from some packaging, I think, which I cut out before I went. This page, well, these pocket pages are made out of a huge calendar I had that was all like tropical holiday places. You can see the calendar on the inside, and I've used it here. I've got receipts in this one, but I just love the images, so beautiful. This was off some packaging I bought at Disney, and I just loved it, so I sort of ripped it out and put it in with some washi tape. Just some graph paper there, and a little image I made a tab with. I sort of use it as a diary, if you like. Don't put any photos in it, mainly because I can't print any when I'm away on holiday. So it is just pictures from leaflets and books and things, and or magazines. You know, you get them in your hotel all the time, and stuff I put in before I went. This here was a map of where we were down in Fort Lauderdale, and so I put that in because we went to the Bonnet House. There's the key to our room. This was actually a Disney playing card that I backed before I went to use as a journaling spot. There's some leaflets here of where we went, what we did. This was a card from one of the restaurants we went to. Absolutely gorgeous food, and so I stuck that in just for to remember where we went, what we had. Some more writing paper, sorry, not wrapping paper, and it's got little pineapples on it. This is actually when they bring you the bill at our local restaurant here in the UK, and I just love that image, the pineapple hot air balloon, and so I backed that so I could use that as a journaling spot too. And this was one somebody sent me in a swap, so I put that on for in for journaling. Flyer from where we went, and you also got a little sticker to say you sort of paid to go in, and this was out of one of their little brochures, which I really liked. On the other side there's Minnie, and here I talk about what we did, and some more writing paper. We also went to this restaurant. We also went to this restaurant. This was our parking permit. We went down to Key West, and so I stuck that in, and then I talk about the place we stayed in Key West. This was actually some scrapbook paper, but I love the images on it. This one is, again, it's got one of the calendar pictures, so I've made another pocket there. It's full of receipts and things, so I can, when I got my bank statement, I could a credit card statement, sorry, I could check that what the exchange rate, what was charged. Anybody who's been to Florida knows all about key lime pie, and this was in one of the bars we went in, and I really liked it, so I took one and put that in. This was a paper clip somebody gave me the idea for off a YouTube video, and I just took a picture of a butterfly out of some scrapbook paper and some music paper, a little tiny bit of trim. Thought it looked quite pretty. So this is one of the envelopes to some writing paper I have that's all blue flamingos, which obviously goes with Florida. So here are some more receipts and information about near where we stopped. And I've got some note paper that's got Minnie on, as you can see. So I've used that too. This was one of the restaurants we went to, and I just cut that out of their little flyer. I also used the envelope to write on. And this was some information that came out of just a little brochure we had. We also went to the rum factory, the rum distillery down in Key West, and so this was one of the postcards they gave us, so I've just pinned that in there. This was a little map of near where we were stopping in the Keys. So it was really nice. I've stuck that on, and again to one of these calendar pages. And on this side here, I've just written what we did. We were given this ticket. This is about Key West again. We went to this restaurant, and in here I've got this was just a little pocket I've made. So this was one of the bars we went to on the Sunset Pier, which we had a few drinks at. This is a card from the next hotel we were stopping at. I know we stopped at 4 hotels. I loved this. I wish I'd got more of these because I think they're quite cute. Just a bar mat. Some more bits and pieces I've got in here. Another parking permit for the car. So now we've moved to Senable and Captiva. We're actually staying there in Captiva. So this was where we were stopping, and I just made a little tuck spot here to keep things from falling out. Parking ticket, a car park ticket rather. This was my husband's favourite ice cream place, Pinocchio's. We went to the Shell Museum. We went walking down the beach collecting shells. That's when we visited the Shell Museum, and I made a little pocket here. Again, it's got receipts in and a little postcard that I liked. This was where we stopped. So this was the brochure from the hotel, and this is our room key, which shows the view, not from our room, but the pool. And we were stopping in one of these little ones here, so we could see out to sea. We could see the manatees. It was lovely, absolutely gorgeous. This was a guy we went out fishing with, Captain Joe. Caught some fish, and here's a picture of me fishing that I drew, and this is the stingray I caught, which if anybody knows, you don't eat stingrays, so we just caught it and then released it back into the wild. Another calendar pocket, again more receipts. This was from our hotel, and I just love the image of the water on it. And then coming to the end of our holiday, unfortunately, talking about what we did last few days. This was the restaurant we went to on our last evening, the Lazy Flamingo. It's one of those where you can take the fish that you've caught, because we caught some sea trout, and they will cook it for you and serve it with, side dishes. And so we spent our last evening there eating the fish that we've caught. As you can see, that's the other side of the playing card I told you about. So it's Disneyland Paris, that is, even though we were in Florida. And I just doodled Florida across there. that was it really. If you've got any questions or want to know if I've done anything, please let me know. And I'm sorry I've been away for such a long time. Take care everyone. Bye bye.